And joining us now at What She Said is 14-year-old Trinity Arsenault and her mom, Christine. Welcome to What She Said. Now, Trinity just recently became the youngest person ever to swim Lake Ontario in a mere 23 hours and 14 minutes?
19 minutes.
19 minutes. Okay, well, I gave you...
I bet those last 5 minutes really counted, too, huh?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was that feeling?
I had been in some very, very strong winds and some very big waves for the last 10 kilometers of my swim, so finishing was just that much more exciting. It was amazing.
I know that it was tough, and I know that you have been quoted as saying you had to talk yourself into finishing this.
I never at one point wanted to get out. I had worked really, really hard for my swim, and there was a large group of people who helped me get there. So I don't think at any point I was ready to get out, but it was definitely a really difficult swim.
So let's go back. When did your passion for swimming start?
Well, my mom is a swimmer, so I just grew up swimming. I've just always been swimming. It's just kind of a part of who I am.
Well, your mom actually swam the lake as well.
Yep, 3 years ago.
So, Christine, why don't you tell us about that?
I had a great swim a few years ago. We had a great team. It was an incredible swim. The end of my swim was really tough too, but nothing compared to what Trinity had to finish up with at the end of hers.
So how do you, let's start at the beginning. For those of us that can't even imagine spending that long in the water. You talk about your team. How many people, what does it take to go through this whole process?
Well, on my actual swim, I had about 18 people who helped me get across. But there were so many people who participated in the training of my swim. Training for such a big project is usually a bit lonely because there's not many people who are doing the same kind of training as you. So I had a lot of support during my training, whether that was coming in and swimming for, just a couple minutes or coming and cheering me on. So there was a lot of different people and a lot of different tasks that helped me train and get ready for my swim. And then about 18 people who came across with me.
So how long is the training? For a swim like that?
Well, I'd say I trained for about 2 years with the goal in mind, but a year of serious training, just building my distance and all of that good stuff.
I know, but what does that training involve? I go to Aquafit a few times a week.
That's not cutting it, Christine.
It's not cutting it. I don't think people understand, just to give people an idea of what kind of dedication this involves.
Well, it involves 15 hours in the water a week plus dryland training time on top of that. And your swim time is often very lonely. Your face is in the water. You're not interacting with other people. So it's a lonely exercise. My dryland training was a highlight for me. I really enjoyed it. And for Trin, I think when you look at young people who want to achieve these kinds of goals, Trin gave up a lot of time with her friends. She gave up a lot of social activities that most 14-year-olds would be doing. She said, no, this is important to me and I want to go get this done. And Trin's a straight A student. So for her studies and her swim took priority over anything else in her life. So, yeah.
When you talk about dryland training, what kind of training do you do?
Well, it's weight training. It's all kinds of learning to train certain muscles so that they get strong. Freestyle systematically weakens certain parts of your back. So you need to, while it strengthens many areas, it weakens important muscle groups too. So you have to do dryland training to correct those weakened muscles from consistent overuse of other muscles. So rowing on an erg. We had a specialist come in and design a specific program for Trin for her dryland. It was functional movement. So lots of walking in a particular way with weights to even out her strength on either side of her body.
So what do your friends say about this?
My friends were really supportive. It was hard at the beginning because really I said I can't spend time with you ever.
Ever?
Well, pretty much. I had some friends who, for example, in every household you have chores at the house and different responsibilities, and two of my friends came to my house during the evening throughout the week to come help me with those, just because I'd have to.
Good friends.
They are. They'd come and babysit so that some of the kids I was babysitting so that I could go and train. My sister did that as well. She was really helpful this year. One of my friends came on a training swim with me early in the fall. So they did different things throughout the year as they could, but it was definitely a bit difficult. But they were all very, very supportive. They came out to the start of my swim, some to the finish. It was great.
Did you have a clear idea when you started, because you're young, what this would take out of your life?
I watched my mom train for the swim, so I had some idea of the amount of dedication you needed. I'd spend, Saturday hours at the time at the YMCA sitting at the side of the pool counting your laps. So I knew kind of the amount of time that it took to prepare, but I didn't have any idea the amount of dedication until I got further into it.
Would you do it again?
If I were to swim another lake, I think I'd pick a different one. I don't think I'd want to swim Lake Ontario again. Maybe if I continued, I'd go and do a couple other lakes, maybe do all 5 of the Great Lakes, but I don't think I'd swim Lake Ontario again.
Why?
Well, I've already accomplished that lake, so if I were to keep doing lakes, I think I would continue with other ones and accomplish some other goals.
So now is it a record because of your age that you set the record? Because you're a little bit younger than Annalise Carr, right?
I am about 2 months, actually,
Oh.
around there. And because we are the first mother-daughter pair to have swam the lake, as well as my age.
As well as your age.
Mhm.
Okay, so what are you doing now? You just started school, right?
I did. I just started high school. I don't know. I'm definitely going to keep swimming. I have a couple 10-kilometer races this summer, which I'm excited about. I'm excited about getting fast again. All of my team started passing me this year, which was interesting to go from, second in the lane to, fourth. But, so I'm excited to get fast again, but I don't know what big goals I have for the future involving any lakes.
Well, that's interesting. You said it's a different, you want to get fast again. So what's the difference between the marathon distance swim and speed swimming? What is the difference in the way you have to train for that?
It's a lot of working your fast twitch muscle fibers. During big swims like the lake, it's a lot about mental training as well, because you're swimming for long periods of time. But with speed training, you're strengthening, you're being able to go fast for short periods of time. It's a lot different.
Well, and I'll add that Trinity's, fast, short swimming she'd like to do involves 10K open water races. So 10K open water races are equivalent to a marathon, like a running marathon. So that 10K equals 1 marathon. So Trin wants to get really good at 10K open water swims. What became apparent during her training was she's got this ability to power in the middle of these over distance training swims. So at the end of her swim, our crew was just in awe as they watched this young person sprint out of thunderstorms. And Vicki Keith was of course in a boat with me most of the time, and she said, "Oh my goodness, she's been sprinting now for like 45 minutes. Wow, we've got to give her a break." And I'm like, she can do this. She can sprint. She can do it. And I've watched her do incredible swims. So I think we're excited over the next 4 years to watch what she can do in 10K open water swims. So she's saying short swims, but really they're
Yeah,
they're
that's no aquafit.
Oh, no. Are we looking at Olympics, or what are we looking at? You can tell us.
Well, maybe in 4 years, if I work to bring my times down, I think it might be in reach.
Oh, it's well within reach. So if she brings her hundreds pace time down, 5 to 6 seconds per year over the next 4 years, she'll be right up there with world class swimmers.
So, and what swim would you want to do if you got that far? Or when you get that far? Let's be positive.
Definitely the 10-kilometer race. It just got added to the Olympics, and I'm definitely a long-distance swimmer, so...
So is that your current dream, to get there?
Yes, I would say so.
So when you're in the water, I want to know what you think about, like, it's a long time. We're talking 23 hours and 19 minutes. What goes through your head?
There was so many things going through my head. Your brain you're doing this repetitive motion over a very long time, so your brain gets in patterns. So, for example, if I started a to-do list, I could never get past, like, 3. Because your brain is just in this pattern, and you can't really get out of it. So, I don't know, I'd sing songs. There wasn't much to think about out there. There wasn't much imagination just because I was staring at nothing. Just water. There was nothing underneath me until the break wall, so there was just, my head spun for the whole 23 hours. There was tons of things I thought about, but nothing too complicated.
So what do you mean that your brain is in a pattern? Your brain is just saying, keep going, keep going, keep going?
Well, it's just, it's not that it keeps going over and over and over again in different patterns. It's that your body is very rhythmical with a freestyle stroke, with any stroke. So if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's so interesting how it translates into the way you think, the way your mind works. And so I found when I was swimming, I in my head would sing only the first line of a chorus, and I could never get beyond the first line of a chorus. So I would come up with sayings in my head that I could repeat in my head with this one line of one chorus. And that got me through, and that's how you get through it. If you try to think beyond that, your brain gets lost. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Now Trinity, tell us, you did this for charity. You raised some money, too. Tell us about that.
I raised money for Jumpstart, which is an organization that takes away financial barriers for kids who want to get involved in recreational activities and sport.
And this is with, I believe, Canadian Tire?
Yes, Canadian Tire's Jumpstart.
And why that one?
It's just a charity really close to my heart. I don't know who I would be if I weren't able to be an athlete and participate in sport. It's just a really big part of my life, and I think it builds so many different characteristics that are really important in children's lives, like leadership, creativity, determination. There's just so many things involved with sport that I think are really important. And so when I learned about Jumpstart and what they do for families all over Canada, I'm like, that's it.
That's it. So you've raised, can people still donate to this in your name?
Yep. You can go to my website, which is niagaraswims.com, and there's a page you can donate to there, or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Trinity's Lake Ontario Swim 2014, and there's a way to donate there. So.
How wonderful of you to be thinking about other kids when you're already accomplishing something that's unbelievable. You're already inspirational, but now on a second front. Good for you.
Thank you.
Mom, you did a great job.
Yeah, are you ever going to do a swim together, or are you, what do you think?
Well, I know I'm a great swimmer, but it has been a real privilege to watch Trin get much faster than her mother. She was 11. Or were you 11 when I swam? No, you were.
No, I would have.
You were 11. You
Yeah.
were 11 when I swam. So she was still developing, and I was wonderfully faster. And it was a privilege to watch Trin get much faster than myself this past year. So I doubt she could do a swim with me because she's a lot faster than I am.
Well, good luck to you both, and well done for all your efforts for raising things. You're trying to get enough funds to help more than 100 children access programs.